Hey guys, welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, Rob French, as always, and thanks for tuning in to what should be another mega awesome episode of Rob's Arcade. Now, today we are going to be talking about the final and sixth episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm going to go ahead and let you know now this is not one of those videos that's going to break down all the Easter eggs. I'm not here to do character breakdowns. If that's what you're looking for, there are guys out there who do it much better than I do. This is simply a video of a 41-year-old comic book reader who's been reading comic books for 30 years, who has a few ideas and some, I don't know, predictions about where this final episode may go. Now, if you have not watched any of the Falcon and Winter Soldier and you're like way behind, do not watch this video. I won't be going into like a lot of character depth or like showing Easter eggs, but I will be talking about the series. So if you're not caught up, just stop right now, go watch the series, ask yourself, why do you do this to yourself? And then come back and hang out with me as we do a little bit of the sixth and final episode breakdown, predictions, and what I think may happen here in Rob's Arcade in this 20th episode of season 2. So sit back, hang out, and let's see what I have to say. Hey guys, if you want the video with all the Easter eggs, breakdowns, and things you missed, I am not the guy. Please check out my fellow YouTuber, Screen Crush. Not only is he funny, not only is he entertaining and informative, but he makes your hair look great and he knows your mom. So tune into him, subscribe, like his videos. He'll have all the cool Easter eggs and breakdowns. I watch them. You should too. Okay, so again, I just want to hang out with you guys and talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and just where I think the season finale, series finale, is going to go. So I think we should start right away with the title, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, I feel like these are going to be titles that are basically not going to apply to these two characters anymore. Now, after some video watching and reading up on some character history, I found out that Torres, this little kind of like secondary character that's been hanging around and really admiring the Falcon's wings, who I didn't really trust at first. I thought, honestly, there was something really suspicious about Torres. Now, I don't know what tomorrow's episode is going to bring about with this guy, but apparently he's actually a fill-in in the next Falcon in the Marvel series, which I had no idea about. And I always felt this character was a little pushed, a little forced, and I kind of felt like maybe he was working as like a double agent, setting up the Falcon from the very beginning. But now it looks like he may be actually taking over as the Falcon character, which is very, very interesting. Now, again, I feel like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going to be shedding their titles and taking on new namesakes, especially the Winter Soldier. I mean, come on. Basically, the Winter Soldier is dead. He died in Wakanda thanks to Ayo and the rest of the Dora. He kind of shed that. I remember watching that episode in the very beginning where he's listening to the words and he's hearing these words around the campfire and he's literally crying because he has been set free. I'm drinking coffee 7 o'clock in the morning watching this episode and I'm crying with him. And I was not expecting that. But to me, the Winter Soldier is truly dead. There is no more Winter Soldier, and I kind of feel like Bucky will be taking on the White Wolf mantle. The Falcon will, of course, shed his title and become the new Captain America. Now, I'm going to dive into this a lot more and kind of talk about some things that I've recently discovered just reading some back issues of some comics that I actually own myself. Now, I'm going to start with Bucky because, well, like I said, I can't help but feel like the Winter Soldier is already dead. This character is done. Not only do we want to move on as fans, but I feel like Bucky wants to move on as well. Like he's ready to shed this part of his life and he wants to step into the next part of like his story. And he keeps referring to the White Wolf throughout the series, which truly makes me think we are no longer going to have the Winter Soldier, but we're going to actually have the White Wolf. Now, this is kind of what engaged me to kind of do this video because there is a character in the Marvel Comics, the White Wolf, who we all know is kind of like, I guess, a police chief of the Wakanda people in some sort. He's got a really cool costume. It's kind of almost like a white version of the Black Panther costume, if you will. And it's a story where we have almost kind of like I feel like the warmonger tale where this gentleman is supposed to be next in line to, or one of the next in line to take on the Black Panther mantle, but instead becomes the White Wolf. And it's almost like I said, kind of like a police chief of like the Wakanda police, if you will. Now, I don't feel like this is where Bucky is going to go. But there is the White Wolf reference throughout the series that he kind of almost feels like he's no longer the Winter Soldier, but he is the White Wolf. Now, recently, just going through some Captain America comics, I stumbled upon a couple issues that I have that are actually really bizarre, but do kind of tie in to that namesake, the White Wolf, if you will. And that is issue 407 and 408 of Captain America from 93, 92, maybe? I don't even know if I have any dates on these. Here we go. 92. So this is the finale of a 6-part issue where Captain America actually becomes a werewolf. And that is not an exaggeration. The whole town in this little area of Massachusetts gets possessed by a moon gem. They all turn into werewolves, as well as Captain America, who's trying to stop this whole thing from happening. And in the follow-up issue, which is actually an Infinity War tie-in, we find some really cool references to the White Wolf as well. Now, everybody in this town's been turned into a werewolf, and Captain America's a werewolf, and everybody's a werewolf. And there's a character named Night Stalker who's kind of like this medicine woman, if you will. She can create the antidote for the werewolf disease, the lichen, whatever. And she actually becomes a werewolf herself, no results of the White Wolf. So she creates the serum that will cure the werewolfism, and it's administered in issue 408 to the actual White Wolf, who's nothing more than just a white werewolf, but he is also John Jameson, the son of Jonah Jameson Jr., Jonah Jameson, John Jameson, Spider-Man's boss. We all know who he is. Anyway, the son of JJJJJ becomes the White Wolf, which is a more direct tie-in to the Captain America comic books. Now, I'm not saying that Bucky's going to become the werewolf version in this comic book, but it does lend itself to the idea of a character called the White Wolf, who is in fact, you see here, John Jameson. Now they administer the anti-venom, and as we see here in the next panel, he becomes himself again. So the name White Wolf isn't just tied into the Wakanda folklore. It's actually really tied into the Captain America folklore as well. There's a character named the White Wolf in Captain America 408. So I feel like we're going to lose the Winter Soldier, which I hope so, gain the White Wolf, and shed Sam as the Falcon and get him as Captain America. Now, with Sam becoming Captain America, I'm really hoping to get that feather-breasted look that Captain America has. And if you pick up Children of the Atom issue 2, you can see that Bernard Chang does a really good job of illustrating exactly what I'm talking about. Where we have this like feathered top to his garb and kind of a wing, and it stands out. Like there's always been a wing on Captain America's helmet, but it's always been kind of like blended in with the actual helmet itself. I like to see some wings kind of popping off the helmet, perhaps giving the Falcon more of a bird look. Because I mean, honestly, his original costume was inspired by the eagle. Now we have the Falcon becoming the new Captain America. And I feel like we should get some feathered look in the breast, as well as maybe some cool feathered look in the helmet as well. Now, as we saw in episode 5, Sam gets a really cool gift from the Wakanda nation. He opens up the suit. We don't really see what it is, but I can only imagine it's his new Captain America garb, which is very true to the comics because in the movies, what Sam gets his wings from like a flight program in the military, I think. In the comic books, Sam actually gets his wings from Black Panther. So I feel like this new costume is really truly an homage to the original comic story, where Sam actually gets his true costume from. Now, we haven't really seen a whole lot of the Black Panther in this series. And as we all know, Chadwick Boseman, may you rest in peace, passed away. So I'm not really sure if this is a suit from the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, or perhaps the new Black Panther, Shuri, who is going to be the sister, taking over this new mantle. Don't know if we're going to get any closure with any of that in this series, but I feel like all of these little pieces will be leading up to those main events, like who will be the next Black Panther, where do we go, who is going to be the next Captain America. And I really hope that once this whole thing is all done and said, we will get some new characters in the MCU from some existing characters that we've already had, meaning the Winter Soldier will be somebody new, the Falcon will be somebody new, and we'll actually get a new Falcon. Now, the Power Broker has not yet been announced as to who this person is, and I really feel like it's not even a person. Again, if you look back at the very last episode where we left off, all the screens go kind of fuzzy and weird, and I kind of feel like that may very well be Zola actually taking over these monitors. Now, everybody's kind of predicting that Zola's going to walk in this weird robot body, and I really, dear to God, hope not. So many people want, like, oh, I wish movies were more like the comic books, but I feel like if you actually read the comic books, you would not feel that way at all, because some of these comic books are so off the wall, so bizarre, where we have things like Cap Wolf. Would you pay $13 to sit through a 2-hour movie where everybody just turns into werewolves and then Captain America shows up and then he turns into a werewolf? And like the only way to save the day is to turn this weird scientist who kind of like created all of this into a werewolf. It's so like, yeah. I wish my comic books movies were more like the actual comic. No, you don't. No, you really, really don't. So I'm really hoping that Zola's not going to walk out in some weird like robot body and like the Terminator or that just would really be pathetic in this day and age. I feel like that robot body was a cool idea back during World War I and World War II, whatever. But once you kind of step into like the 70s, 80s, 90s, I feel like the robot TV head body is just like an outdated idea. The internet's born. It's kind of like Ultron, Why would I exist in just a body when I can kind of float around throughout the whole world, put myself in this monitor, this TV, that thing, this computer, whatever. So I'm really hoping that Zola just appears in these weird staticky TVs all over the place and is actually what is in everybody's phone that they're so focused on, and that we find out the whole time that Carly has been trying to like lead this revolution for her gain. She's actually been helping the power broker, aka Zola, manifest his actual goal, which is just basically controlling everything from the military to blah blah blah, Coca-Cola, and Pop Secret popcorn. That's basically all of my predictions for the final episode. I really have enjoyed watching the series, and it looks like the next one we have forward to, or look forward to having, is the Loki series, which doesn't look like it's going to be limited. The WandaVision series, if you go on IMDb, it's just like boom, boom. It's like, 21 to 21. Same thing with Winter Soldier, 21 to 21. Loki looks like it's kind of open-ended. So we might get like an actual multi-season series, kind of like The Mandalorian, that we have for Star Wars for the Marvel Universe, which would be really cool because I don't think anybody does Loki better than Mr. Tom himself. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me. Those are kind of, like I said, my predictions for the final episode. No more Falcon. We got a new Captain America. No more Winter Soldier. We got the White Wolf. The new Captain America will have a new Falcon, a.k.a. Torres. I mean, he was all over those wings, and now he's got... Even Samu said just keep them. So it looks like we got some new characters leading into the MCU, as well as revisiting some new characters that we've already seen before. And I don't think we're going to get a Wolverine, but we've definitely set the precedent for a new Wolverine in the MCU. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Sharon Carter is up to. I'm kind of hoping she's not the power broker, but maybe working for the power broker. And again, only by accident. Wouldn't it be weird if Sharon Carter has been working for the power broker, aka Zola, this whole time? Ever since what? Winter Soldier? Now that could be a truly, truly cool tie-in to the whole MCU. Sharon Carter, not Sharon Carter, excuse me. Not Sharon Carter, Sharon Carter's that one. You got Peggy Carter. Is it Sharon Carter? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and until next time, don't spend your quarter anywhere else. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?